Yeah, Shefty, you look at the Lions, and for whatever reason, we talk about this 49ers being snake bit. The Lions' front seven on defense, I mean, we went through the list. It's like you got maybe one or two bodies left standing. What do you think the level of concern is for the Lions moving forward here, especially when you consider that the Vikings and the Packers just continue to win, and they don't really have that margin of error in the division to lose a couple games?
Ty, that's an unbelievable list. Just put that up there one more time. I want to talk about that. Like, look at how many players they've lost. And I don't care.
Good players, not just players. Yeah.
I know. I don't care. I don't care who you are and how good you are. And they have been as good as any team in football. It gets to a certain point where you just have a hard time replacing these guys. And, I mean, to me, they're at a little bit of a breaking point here. And this defense it's going to struggle to be as good as it was. The pressure is going to be now on Aaron Glenn. The pressure is going to be on the offense because they're going to have to score more. You can't keep losing good players and think that everything is just going to keep going the way that it has. Like, they signed Quan Alexander on Friday. I like that pickup. They signed Jamal Adams yesterday. They're signing guys off practice squads and off the streets to try to keep alive a potential championship season. That's what they're doing right now. And this always is a war of attrition in this league, always. And the good teams overcome injuries, but there's only so many of those you get to overcome before at some point it begins showing up on the field. And I just kind of feel like they're teetering on the edge there right now. Like, I don't know how many more guys they can lose and still play like this great Lions team that we've seen.
Yeah, you say the good teams get through them, and I agree, because there's depth on the good teams where they're able to find a gem that maybe is able to fill in for somebody. There's a lot of misfortune and luck, too.
Oh, yeah.
If you get the wrong people hurt at the wrong time, like this Christian McCaffrey injury all year, I think, has been the San Francisco 49er moxie sucker. They don't have the same moxie as they had in years past. These injuries to this particular Lions team, Aiden Hutchinson, you think to yourself, damn. How are you going to go on? And they somehow did. Then Anzalone, who's like their second, he goes down. It's like, so then more injuries happen in the same area. It's like, damn, how can they survive? How can they survive? They're winners up there, though. They're winners up there in Detroit.
And that's what made losing in the NFC Championship so heartbreaking last year, because we did stay relatively healthy the entire season. And it was like, are we really going to stay that healthy for 2 straight seasons with how MCDC and Aaron Glenn play football? I don't know. And clearly, we're not. And
I didn't even think about that, how there's the Lions hangover. Now, granted, teams are 2 and 11 after playing the Detroit Lions, because the Colts get a win over the Patriots. But we always talk about the other teams that play the Lions have to take. It's like, at some point,
It's so strange, too, because they're all on defense. The offense has stayed healthy all season, so I don't know what's up with that either.
That's because you guys are just running wide open seemingly all the time. Mm-hmm. Got all the code words out, though, huh?
Yeah, what's that all about? What does that mean? What's going on?
It means a lot.
Oh,
a lot of work for Ben Johnson.
They're going to have to remember all these code words. They're going to have to use new code words, which they probably already have. But that was certainly, as somebody who has posted a photo inside of a building before, that in the background is about as bad as it can get.
There's a lot of them.
But be who you can afford to be. Jameer Gibbs is a dog.
He's a good player.
He is a great player. We'll get past this. Yep. We will change the words. We will be A-okay. If this is anybody else now, you are cut, and we're going to actually just erase the whole wall. All right, that's what we're going to do. But I think the Lions are going to be able to figure it out, but the injuries do scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, Coach, obviously you had roles as the DC GM and as head coach, so I wanted to ask you about this because Brad Holmes, MC DC, and Aaron Glenn have a situation on the defensive side of the ball where they are just taking injury after injury after injury. Here is where they started the season, and the Red Lions are obviously guys that have gotten hurt and are out for the season. As those roles, like is Aaron Glenn, is he doing stuff defensively, schematically differently now because guys are out? What is Brad Holmes doing? What's Coach Dan Campbell doing for the team? What's the situation here when you've got a great team that is just banged up on the defense side of the ball?
Right. Well, I think that the Lions, again, whether that's Coach Campbell or Brad Holmes or whoever it is, have certainly tried to address the pass rush situation. And I think that needs to be addressed. They don't get very much pressure on the quarterback. A lot of the sacks that they do get are because the quarterback holds the ball for an extended period of time, and they've gotten a lot of sacks in the fourth quarter when they've been ahead, in obvious passing situations. In spite of the fact that they're statistically a very good third down team, I think that's going to be an issue for them against the better teams that they play, like it was in the first half of the Houston game where they were down by whatever it was, 2 touchdowns just at halftime. So I think those are the issues that they're looking at defensively, pass rush, and how much man-to-man coverage they can actually play. I think Branch has had a fantastic year. He's been responsible, it looks to me like, for the majority of their pass breakups, interceptions. He's even caused some interceptions by, taking away, or caused sacks by taking away a route and forcing the quarterback to hold the ball. I think he's had really a great year for him. I think the rest of the secondary and the rest of the pass rush can certainly be improved, and I think they're trying to do it. And so that's what they should do, is to try to either schematically or maybe with an acquisition of a player, try to, get more of an edge rush to work with McNeil inside, or use some linebacker pressures to try to beef up the pass rush. They really haven't rushed the passer very effectively. I think when the numbers are a little misleading because of the amount of time that the quarterbacks have held the ball. And I would say the quarterbacks have missed a lot of open receivers that, had they seen them or hit them, it would have been interesting to see how some of those had gone.
Feels like you think it's going to be tough to finish this thing out for the Detroit Lions.
Well, I think I won't say it's going to be tough. I think they need to do better than they've been doing. I think they've gotten away with some things, and it looks good now. I just don't know if it's going to last against really good passing teams,
playoff
or quarterbacks that can extend plays a little bit. Like I said, they got into a lot of trouble against Houston, and I know they ended up winning that game, but still, it wasn't all about the interceptions. It was about defensively, some of the things that they gave up, and I just worry when they get against a good offensive team. If Love has a good day, if Darnold has a good day, which I didn't think really either one of them did, what that would look like.
Lions Packers Thursday
night. They
night.
They can outscore people, and look, if they have to win 42-41, they're probably capable of doing that. But I think to really be a well-balanced team, be a championship team, they want to be better on defense.
You always see those Super Bowls, just big time shootouts,
all the time.
Yeah, it's always that is.
Yep. 45,
it is always
42.
what happens. Yeah, exactly. Detroit Lions fans, obviously they're pumped to be back, but every injury that takes place, it's like, man.
And to Coach's point, it was very, very noticeable in the second half. Caleb Williams was a different quarterback in that second half when guys started just dropping.
Yeah, and there's been a couple games now the Lions have dominated, then there's been a couple games that's been close.
Yeah.
They got the Packers on Thursday night. We shall see. NFC North football is heating up.